everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, chat.
Yay.
Hi, stream. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Look who we have. It's LEE Shorten.
Shorten.
Kazumasa Sakai.
Thank you for being here.
Big
So
Dad.
excited. Big Daddy.
Big Dad.
Although
the true dad.
the
Real
ages,
dad.
the ages are pretty similar amongst all of us, but
Right?
but you are our daddy or my daddy.
Who is your daddy and what does he do? This guy.
This guy?
And he's the butcher of Iki. Why are you yelling at me?
He butchers. How are you doing? How's your Saturday?
Yeah,
What are you drinking?
I'm just drinking some off-brand flavored water. Not even LaCroix. Yeah.
I mean, LaCroix is great and all, but it's a little. They've gotten a little too big for their britches. I think. Also, like, they're real expensive now. Like, they've become significantly more expensive in the last like 5 years. Where I'm just like, LaCroix, why you got to do this? I've moved on to the we just recently, and Stream knows about it because I talk about it. I've moved on to becoming a Soda Stream boy, where I make my own fizzies. Thank you very much. So I feel like I've gone the other end, but it's also that thing where like we were going through in my house we were going through so many cans. Just the sheer amount of cannage that we were putting into the recycling bin. I was like, we can't keep doing this. We have to stop.
Gotta be responsible. Respect.
Yeah. So now it's like we all have one bottle. Like it's like we have our own. Like that is your fizzy water bottle, and if you lose it or break it, then looks like you're out of fizzy water. But
So starting off the dandy conversation about the most important thing, which
fizzy
is drinks,
water,
fizzy
obviously.
water and
Beverages.
drinks.
Does everyone have their beverage? Does everyone
I'm
have
having
their
my yerba
beverage?
mate.
I've got my
we,
coffee.
we were actually talking about coffee right before we started streaming,
We were.
and how Earl misses coffee from Australia.
I miss
Lee,
Australian coffee.
what do you miss about home? You are from Australia, right?
Yeah. I grew up there. I was there for a long time. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, my friends and family, but coffee mainly, and
Coffee
Friends
one,
and coffee.
family
What is it-
second, friends.
What is it about? Do you like coffees here in the poor? I mean, we're pretty fancy. What's the difference? What's
what do you
missing?
think it is, Earl? I don't even.
Okay, so partly I will say that there is a care for pulling espresso that
Yeah.
exists and you can find it in individual baristas and at certain shops, but a lot of the time now especially pulling a shot of espresso is done automatically. Like, so a lot of like Starbucks is like all the coffee, everyone, like it's literally, it presses a button and it just goes. And because there's so many things happening and usually they've got rush or stuff like that, I feel like a lot of baristas are just sort of, they've set like, oh, I push the button and then the espresso comes out and then I do the thing with the milk and I do the thing like, and so I feel like oftentimes where like in Australia, we were timing, like I had to time my all of my shots, all of those things, like, like I feel like that was one of those things where I feel like that has a large thing to do with it, as well as milk steaming. There's I think in America there isn't really even an idea, like they're in the coffee making process, like steam and foam were kind of like, they're all just the same thing. So like even when like you're trying to explain flat white and be like, oh, microfoam, and it's like, what are you talking about? What's microfoam? And it's like, well, it's the foam that gets made after you skim off the foam, and there's the small little velvety bubbles underneath the big bubbly bubbles, and that's the thing that you need to make the nice crema on top. Like, and so it's I feel like there's just oftentimes the utility of making coffee, because I feel like here in America also, like, coffee is seen as a utility, whereas I feel like in Australia, like, just cafe culture in general is slightly more developed, or I would say slightly more European, in the way that like coffee is utility, yes, but it's also comfort, it's also like a reprieve, like I feel like there's a bit more of a like, oh, I need, it's more of an occasion. I don't know if that makes sense. And so I feel like it's just general the care that goes into it sometimes. That's my thought.
I guess it's that thing of like I remember Starbucks tried to like break into the market there.
They've been trying. They have been trying, and it is not. They are not having a time. Let's say.
Do you have a favorite like coffee type or coffee place in Australia?
Oh, there was a place when I lived in Canberra. Never lived there, by the way. It's a boring government town.
Oh
But,
God, you lived in Canberra.
I worked there for
Oh, right.
2
Because
years. There's a place called Velo, which was just this tiny spot, and it had the best coffee. And honestly, when the coffee is good, I just have it black. I just have a long black.
yes,
And maybe I'll put a dash of milk in sometimes, but like that's how I like it. But again, here, I know I sound like the worst snob ever. Like I can't drink a long black here because it's just not
because it's too bitter. Also because like when you ask for a long black, they're like, what do you mean? And it's like the easiest thing to call it is an Americano, I guess, but it's not actually an Americano. Sorry. I get if this was an anime, I would be getting that like stress vein.
Not to make this a downer, but there's one of the popular streamers, Elena Pierce, who's also from Australia, and she had a long story about like going back to Australia recently. How has it been like for you during the pandemic? And
Have you gone back?
Do you guys still have family in Australia? Do you go back, or right now it's impossible, right? Do you?
Yeah. All my family's still there. I haven't been back for I think over 2 years. So
Oh, wow.
usually I go back every Christmas to see them, but I haven't seen them for a while.
Oh, Australian Christmas. I miss Australian Christmas where it's like seafood, white wine on the beach. Like it was such a culture shock, like brain twist for me when I first moved out. Cause I was telling Lee, I moved out to Australia after, in the middle of the summer there, winter time, here. And just the pure shock of going from like 27 inches of snow, negative 13 degree weather to like 37 degrees Celsius, like 80% humidity melting out of my face. And then again, being like, oh, it's Christmas time. We're going to go to the beach. And being like, what happened to snow and cozy?
No ugly Christmas sweater.
No ugly. Oh my God! If someone was like, "Yeah, you have to put on a sweat," if someone was like, "You're gonna put this hot jumper on right now in this like 107 degree weather," I'd just be like, "You can get fucked, mate." Oh man. But okay, we had a couple of segue things come up, but I'm gonna go back to one. You were living in Canberra, and what were you doing when you were living in Canberra?
I was a lawyer.
You were a lawyer.
That's me.
My brother's a lawyer. I actually think being a lawyer is, I don't know. I think it gets a lot of shit that it doesn't particularly deserve in the way, just because of, how the perception of what lawyers do and what lawyers are has been, I think, kind of twisted. But, I have nothing but respect for people that, spend the time to learn the law in that sort of way, because it's also one of those things where like your average Joe Schmo rando isn't going to know exactly what is afforded to one through the law and through the laws that exist in whatever place that you're in. And oftentimes, I find that yes, lawyers can be like, oh, the idea of like, oh, they want money, or they're like personal injury lawyers, or like, all that stuff. But then it's also like, I feel like at the same time, like some of the lawyers that I know are like the most even-keeled, like just specific and attentive to detail humans that I've ever encountered. And I think that there's something really remarkable about that. And it kind of is that thing of like, yeah, when someone's dealing with something like the law, I would expect that they would be like have that level of granular attention and things like that, which I think, yeah, I think that's kind of wonderful. So what kind of law were you practicing?
The most exciting kind, hacks.
Oh, dang. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's a thing where in Australia, like that's a career. Like that is a like you get into the tax law, like, and you get into that game and you're like, all right, I'm set for the next 30, 20 years. Like you've got a path. Like that's pretty intense.
So what was the journey like for you? How long did you do it, and how did it lead to? Were you always an actor before and during, or?
I actually got kicked out of my drama class in high school.
Mm.
And that was the last time I.
Wait! Tell us the story.
What happened? How?
What's this? Can you tell us the story?
Well,
Lee the Rebel.
yeah, the drama rebel.
Rebel.
We were doing Frankenstein, and then we had to write a monologue from one of the secondary characters and then perform it. And I picked, I think, like the dude who would help Frankenstein dig up the bodies. And then there was something weird about that's what this guy likes. And then my teacher was just like deeply disturbed by my monologue or whatever and refused to have me in the class anymore. So.
What?
What was monologue like?
That's so fucked up. Hold on, wait.
Really,
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't really remember like the specifics, but yeah.
Like one, as a person who's taught high schoolers and drama in Australia, like I would have. That's brilliant. Like that's such an interesting. I'm so much more curious about that guy who's helping Dr. Frankenstein dig up bodies than like the monster. Like even the doctor himself. Like I don't understand. That's so wild.
Well, I'm just thinking like from the teacher's standpoint, like if it was disturbing to the point like, oh, is this guy gonna shoot up the school or something like that? I would not kick this student out. I would like, encourage this person to talk to somebody, maybe, which I don't think is what was happening.
Or even encourage them to
and I could understand that too, totally. I mean, also in Australia, we don't really have a history of like school violence or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
She and I didn't get along. I think this was about halfway through the year, so I think it was like her kind of excuse to be like,
You're
I can
out.
finally get you out.
Right. Was she racist?
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I don't, like I was like one of the only Asian kids at that school. So.
Right. Because I think our generation, I feel like a lot of times we were the only. I was like the only Asian in the class.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
my teacher liked me.
Yeah.
That was good. Oh man, now I'm really curious about that monologue, or maybe she just didn't like it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, also like it's such a weird. I don't know. Like that's so strange to me. In like I don't know. A student is obviously showing a level of creativity and sort of thinking outside of your sort of stereotypical parameters, and I feel like. I don't know, especially in teaching theater, it's kind of your job to notice, I don't know, just encourage creativity as opposed to try and tamp it down.
To be fair, like I was a very annoying student to teach in all my classes because I don't know about you guys, but I'm also that kid who was always just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? And, I was a nerd and I read a lot. And so sometimes, I'm not saying I knew more than the teachers. That's an absurd thing to say. But like maybe I'd read a book that had a different perspective. So then when I'd bring it up, they don't really want to engage with that. And it's like, to be honest, like I got kicked out of my history class, my English class, my drama class. Like I just was not.
But
wait,
again,
so did you just run out of class at the end? You just got kicked out of everything.
You were just in gym.
It was weird things like for history class, like the head history teacher really got along. But again, I didn't get along with my history teacher. So instead of going to class, I would just have to fucking sit outside in the hallway at a desk by myself. And I would have assigned readings and I would just have to turn in the assignments to the head history teacher who would grade them.
Tamworth, what the fuck? Sorry, that just sounds so. That when you say it like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that does sound like Australia. in some places, in that like, we don't want to deal with it, put him outside in the hallway, and it's like, excuse.
Obviously, I think I turned out okay. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I feel like that is also good education, where you just, I mean, in life, it's kind of like that. You kind of have to learn stuff on your own. Okay, so got kicked out of acting, but you kept doing it. How did it lead to tax law?
I didn't really keep acting. I was always more interested in music, to be honest.
Oh.
But anyway, I graduated high school. I had good grades. I didn't know what to do with my life. And so everyone in my life is like, we'll have to go into med school or law school. Like, with these grades, you just have to do it. So, And I was looking at it, and I'm like, well, law school is going to be way easier than med school. So I'm going to go to law school.
Yeah.
So I did.
Because it's easier.
Well,
I mean, yeah. It is.
It's different.
My rationale was like med school, you actually have to memorize shit. Like, you have to be able to like this bone or this organism.
Yeah.
Law school, you can go back
to the books.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
You just need to be really good at referencing material.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
So I go to law school. I fucking hate law school so much, you don't even know. But
wow.
At the time, during law school, I was playing in like a bunch of bands, and like we would whatever. That was kind of like helping me get through school, and I was very creatively fulfilled.
Yeah.
And then we finished law school. I have to move to get a job as a lawyer, and then now I have no time to do anything creative. And what had happened was, as my liberal arts undergrad, I had done film studies, and I've always, I was the kid who like watched the director's commentary for every fucking movie and tracked down every movie ever. And so after a couple of years as a lawyer, I was really burnt out, and I was like, what actually makes me happy? And then I realized, like, film was the one thing that really I had quite a passion for. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to quit this job and see if I can make it go at this film industry thing.
Wow. That's amazing. That's when is there a date? Do you have a year of when you were like, this is now is LEE time?
Well, I was, it's one of those, I was 29, and I was up for big promotion at work, and I had a wonderful long-term girlfriend at the time, and it was that thing of like, I kind of saw my whole life laid out before me. It was like, I'll get this promotion, we'll get a mortgage and we'll house. 2 years we'll have kids. I'll keep climbing the corporate ladder. I just saw my whole life laid out ahead of me, and I was like, I'm like, now is the time to roll the dice, because I can't roll the dice in 2 years when I have a mortgage and a child. So, and if I don't, I feel like it'll be in the back of my mind forever.
It'll be that thing that slipped away or that you let go.
Yeah. So I'll do it now. And I said to myself, if I suck at acting and I get no auditions and I don't book any roles, I'll just fucking, I'll come back. Be happy I took it, and I'll go back.
Quick question, minor segue. You're a musician. What do you?
Well, I was.
But I don't think you ever stopped being one. Just saying, as a person who plays music and fiddles and doodles. But like, what did you mostly play in your bands?
So I mainly, in my college years, I mainly played drum and bass. But in high school, I played like trumpet, trombone. Tuba.
Okay. Dang, that's awesome.
And you said you were in a band?
Yeah, I was in a few bands in college. Yeah.
Oh, what was like the biggest band or
your favorite?
Your favorite?
Well,
yeah. What's it called?
Mainly a bunch of covers bands.
Okay.
I was in a band called Capulets.
Capulets.
Nice. Getting that Shakespeare reference.
Shakespeare reference.
Yeah. Told you we were nerds, man.
That's the best way to be, though. Really, like, regardless of I don't know. I feel like nerd culture has become a whole thing where it can be, it's less I don't know, looked down on or things like that. But embrace your nerddom.
Yeah, and so with acting, did you start in Australia and then move to Los Angeles, or did you just jump to Los Angeles?
I actually went to Vancouver before Los Angeles.
Oh, Vancouver.
I remember this.
But I never acted in Australia.
Were you in
Go.
Vancouver when you did The Man in the High Castle?
I was, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you lived there. Yes. Okay, cool. And we were. Did I see you there? I was
No.
in 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think we would have been all on set that day at UBC where we shot your speech and shooting, but like everyone
yeah.
was on set that day. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because I was trying to work out, I'm like, did we ever really chat? I don't know.
Just
So,
Why not?
ships passing on set.
Yeah.
and then I'm like, what if we did and I don't remember now?
And now he just thinks you're a total cunt.
I mean, there was one, because you were there much longer, so I'm sure you had many nights. I had like one night where we went to like a bar with all the Japanese cast and some of the other cast members, but I'm very bad with names. The chat knows this, so and probably don't remember everybody that I met, but
We might have, I don't know.
yeah, okay, now we have a closer connection with all 3 of us. So here we go. Should we segue into that or no?
let's segue into. I have a little.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
a little,
okay.
I have a little thing.
Spoiler alert.
I have a. So spoiler
Iki
alert.
Island.
This is a spoiler alert for the expansion. If you haven't played it, what are you doing? Or if you don't know what happens, what are you doing? Go play it. But anyways, this is one of I think this is one of my favorite scenes in general for the entire game. And then it features the lovely work of Dyson and Lee and a little bit of Greg, I guess. So here we go.
Father.
Subtitles are cut off. Hold on. Knock him out.
Bam. Gotcha, bitch.
Got him.
Jean,
Damn, look at how good you look.
we should have died here together. Like warriors.
There we go.
I'm sorry I failed you, Father. Not me. Our clan. The Sakai name is tarnished.
Is it though?
The people here accuse us of terrible things. Sometimes, what is necessary is also terrible.
This line.
The actions I took were not easy. But they needed to be done. You did what was needed on the battlefield. Not at home. I needed a father. When we lost your mother,
Daddy.
Papa.
I was left with a son I didn't know how to help. So, I raised a samurai. It's time, Jin. Do what is necessary. Rid our clan of shame and defeat. Avenge me. Kill him, you coward!
Greg, no.
I will never be like you. The way you lived was not my choice. And your death was not my fault.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Oh man. Oh, so good. So good.
Oh, right.
Oh man, that scene got me. Well done. Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
I'm playing the applause sound on my computer. You probably can't hear it.
That's a
How was
great
that?
scene. Oh,
Yeah, it's a great scene.
also, before we go on, I do want to say, so I sent me a message being like, Lee, what's your favorite scene in the game? When obviously implying like, what's your favorite scene in the game that you were in? And then Lee immediately replies, Ryuzo's duel scene. And I was like, no, Lee, more scenes. But it was it was so sweet.
So have you?
Think like that.
This is nice. Have you played the game then, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I played it before I, even auditioned for this role.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
So
great.
When I got the audition, man, I was so stoked because I played through it and I loved it. And you guys were so great in it, and everything was so great about it. Like, fuck, can I please book this? That'd be amazing.
And here you are. Also, okay, then quick question: have you been playing Legends?
That was gonna be my question as well.
And if you do you want to start playing, because we will power level you. We will power level you. Like,
I think I've got like a cup. What is the max tier? 100 or is it
110 is, and then now they've just pushed it to 120 with the expansion.
Right. I got like a couple of 100 pieces, I think.
Okay. That's not
for a while.
All right.
Because I don't know, you guys, my internet fucking sucks, so I can't.
Oh no!
Like the number of times I was playing. Do you know JB? JB, you know I were playing for a while.
Oh, nice. I met JB for the first time. We met JB really quickly, Dice, at the Shang-Chi premiere. He was the one when we were going up, and we like saw each other. It was like, Earl. I was like, hey, what's up? And like we were taking up at the step and repeat, and yeah. But it was just like, I think that's JB.
But we were playing, and we'd get to the end of like whatever, and then it would drop, and then we'd just be like, just beat like like the hardest.
Yeah, you've done like 20 waves, and you're just it's like what are you doing to us? Oh man,
just keep me. Yeah. So
okay, so we gotta figure out your internet, Steez. And then
but I'd play with you guys for sure. That'd be a pleasure.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We gotta see this. We gotta make this.
Yeah, we're gonna make it. Because
we also just got our ass handed to us yesterday because there's a new Trials of EO section. We got crushed.
Yeah,
heartily crushed. And so we're like, all right, we gotta do something. we gotta put the team together. We gotta do. But
Avengers Assemble.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that would be rad though.
This is one thing I keep saying, but I want to ask, like, how was the whole the whole pandemic, working during the pandemic on Ghost of Tsushima for you? Because everybody else in the game I've met in person, even if it was passing, during because a lot of the voiceover stuff we would do scenes together in the same room. I didn't get to have that with you. The scene that we just saw, I did it after you, so at least I could hear your performance and kind of react off of it. But it's so weird that even though we met at the Man in the High Castle, today is kind of like the official meeting with you, and it's I never had that where it's like because everybody else I've met. But what was it like for you coming? I'm sure it helped that you played the game already to come in and play this character.
Yeah, so I think I like to think that I had a bit of an understanding of the tone and the world and the characters. And, I'd spend so much time with you, I could maybe sometimes imagine like how I think you might play it. But also shout out to our amazing directors who were also like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, look, here's a cat.
Oh, kitty.
Who's that? Please tell it. Oh my gosh, who are you?
Pet it.
That's Spike. This is Spike.
Spike.
Don't disconnect me, Spike.
Hi, Spike. Oh my
Hi,
gosh.
Spike.
Josephine, are you seeing this?
Are you seeing this?
We received a
Josephine?
specific missive from one of our mods about the cats, and so we're
Sorry, I'm just gonna pick him up because he's like all on my keyboard.
do it. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
love the cat. Hold the cat. Love the
Oh,
cat.
yes. Oh, he's
Oh
got
my
he's
gosh,
got
he's
socks.
got
He's got
little
socks.
little mittens.
The white mittens. The white.
Anyway,
So
that was
how,
Spike?
how many cats are there?
two
Two.
brothers.
Ooh.
Oh,
Spike and
Spike and
Mike.
Jet.
Spike and Vicious.
Oh, I knew
Oh,
it. Though. I
vicious.
knew it. Though. I was like, wait. I feel like we're gonna be in the Cowboy Bebop land.
Oh.
Vicious is appropriate though. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like every time we say that, people are either like, "Yes, Cowboy Bebop," or they're like, "Vicious? What? Who? What? That's the weirdest name for a cat ever."
And then you're immediately disappointed in them.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to know you. Get out of my mouth.
I watched it and I don't remember anything.
It's a name. It's a name. Dice has trouble with names. We know.
But I did watch the show. I love the show. I just don't remember any of their names.
We just
Is Vicious vicious?
Yeah, is vicious?
no.
No. Oh, okay.
I think
he
that's
was-
kind of the best though. Where it's like, yeah, it's like naming a kitten like Killer, and all it does is just like sleep and roll around.
So what were we saying?
Just pandemic. I also just shout out again to Amanda, to Nate, to
Amanda.
all of the amazing creatives that do the work as well as, you know, wrangle the cats that are actors. I feel like a lot of the time they're just like, all right, let's herd you over here. Okay, go over here. We're just like, meow, meow. But again, like, you would never be able to tell, like, from my end, like, also having, you know, knowing the process and all that stuff, like, if Dice hadn't told me, like, oh yeah, we were never in the same place together when we did
Right.
that. It's remarkable, one, to see just how far technology has gone, you know, and the ability to make that, because like that's some real, like, I don't know, there's some genuine actual connection in that scene that happens just, you know, in that exchange of energy and flow of narrative and story, you know, like it's happening in that way that you're like, technology is so far advanced now, like, and it feels so real, like, and congratulations to both of you for overcoming that hurdle of, you know, one pandemic.
And I wonder, that's great to hear, and that's also scary to hear, just because I know what I missed, at least for me, from the main game and then director's cut. I would have loved to have done all of these scenes, on the mocap stage. Have you done?
Yeah.
Have you done mocap, Lee?
I've only done recap. I haven't done any mocap yet. And like I'm, you know, again, I think it turned out great, but like, of course, I really wish we had have got to act together, because I do feel like it is always better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's a given.
And in some ways, I bet it is easier for them as well, for the developers, when they do, you know, create these scenes. So yeah, I don't think it'll get replaced, but of course they did a great job with the game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And even just selfishly, like the game aside, again, I'd play through the game, and you know, I was familiar with your work, and I selfishly was like, I just got robbed of the opportunity to act with Daisuke, who's fantastic. You know, as actors, part of it is like you love to get in the ring, so to speak, with other actors and just like hash it out. And
he's pretty great to work with. It's true. Like, I've done it a bunch. Like, I feel really lucky. Like, excellent. Such a generous partner. Like,
See, I was like, that's what I feel like, Rob. Like on a personal level, I'm like, damn, I didn't get to act with Daisuke.
It'll happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're manifesting it. We're dreaming of it. There are more flashbacks. I bet you there are happy flashbacks that we can go back to. Also, because that's the thing. The one thing that I do feel that where I'm like, man, okay, I get that like thematically in the expansion, it's about like Kazumasa and like trauma and like, you know, parental trauma, you know, and generational, all that. But also like, they had to have had some good times. Like,
Did we?
You know, that's one of the things. Because I have so many, like, I voice my opinion because, you know, that's like one of the perks of being a lead. They don't listen to everything I say, which is fine, which is good.
But they'll give you the time to say it.
Yeah. It's like, this is how I feel about this. And one of the things I felt about the Iki Island, all the flashbacks, it felt Western to me because it's like I feel like they already I think like, compared to my dad relationship, this is fine. Kazumasa's fine. So if anything, I would have loved to seen where Kazumasa just doesn't give a shit about shit.
Like, comparatively, he's not that bad.
He's not that bad.
He's like, it's not great, but like, I mean, you should hear the stories that I have about like my friend. Like, I know some crazy Asian dads.
I mean, he let Jin drink sake. It's like, oh, that's loving. And they talked about the mom. It's like, oh, I mean, these are scenes where they were the most closest. I feel like I would love to see the scenes where they're not close at all, but I don't know how to make that interesting. But
Why don't you play your little flute, damn it?
yeah, just slap.
Yeah, like I did have a
the
moment
flute.
of, like, or like he takes the flute away, being like, "Stop it!" Just like, no more flute. Go to bed.
Be a samurai. Speaking of slapping, one of the things that stuck with me from the Man in the High Castle, loved your performance in it, really. And the moment that stuck with me, was there a moment where you slap a bitch? When I say bitch, slap another person. Didn't you slap somebody?
Straight up backhand.
Yeah.
Juliana, man.
You were so good. You were like, oh damn, who is
This is
this?
vicious.
Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Check it out. You can see Lee in action, backhanding a bitch.
Backhanding it.
Bam. And not meaning it as a subjective derogatory
Dude,
way,
I-
just in the
I
bam.
play so many assholes. It's like that's if I'm typecast, it's like villainous sidekick asshole dude. It's
Oh really?
But look at that face. You look
I
so
know,
nice.
you look at your
You
face.
look so nice. Look at that man.
Oh.
not mad about it. Not mad about it. But
What kind of roles would you like to play?
Do you have a dream role in mind?
Dream role? Yeah.
no, I always tell people like Philip Seymour Hoffman is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Dude,
Right?
absolutely.
Mhm.
What a legend. Ugh.
And I don't know about y'all, but like, you know, I have friends and like they want to be like the leading man in like films, and that's their thing, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be like a Philip Seymour Hoffman, where you get to play a very diverse range of characters. You bomb in,
Yes.
you have a couple of interesting scenes, and then you kind of piece out to the next project.
Yes.
But it's also that
I agree.
every single project, like every single thing that he's done, like those characters are so realized. They are so
100%.
multidimensional. They are so in depth. Like they're so, I don't know. He's been one of my like heroes as far as just the, again, diversity of roles that he does, like just sort
Yeah.
of against type, with type, like you know, just sort of, and just the idea of like Philip Seymour Hoffman having a type is such a weird thing because he's so versatile, you know.
Yeah.
I think excellent.
I mean,
excellent.
with any of his movies, I'm just thinking of Big Lebowski and then Mission Impossible. Like those two
So
characters are
opposite, yeah.
so,
Yeah.
because one is like really low status and the other is so high status, and both really compelling and believable. Like,
And then like
yeah.
Boogie Nights,
Really nice.
to like Synecdoche, New York, like to just so many, like even him in Almost Famous. I actually
and he's
love
so cool
his
in Almost
performance in Almost Famous. Almost Famous is also one of my favorite movies like of all time. But
he's phenomenal.
He's a force. It's such a shame that we lost him so early.
Yeah.
Like it's
And he like, oh sorry.
No,
and then
no,
I have
no.
so much respect for like you guys, Gabe, because it's like when you're the lead, you shoulder so much of the responsibility for like everything, right? Because like, you know, if the lead sucks, people are like, fuck that game or fuck that movie. Whereas like if I had to say sucked, people would be like, yeah, that Kazumasa guy wasn't great. But the project doesn't live and die. You know what I mean? Like so
it does lie on your shoulders in a way that it doesn't, you know, it's not our shoulders that we aren't the ghost.
So like the fact that you can, I can't imagine how many tens of thousands of lines of dialogue that you had, and I just think about what a performance it was, like the utmost respect.
Yeah, and tens of thousands and thousands of dialogue that we had that never ended up in the game.
Yeah, I definitely try not to think about all that as I did it, but yeah, it's true though.
Congratulations to both of you.
Yeah, but there's something about like supporting cast that is, because of that pressure, I feel like it could be limiting in such a way, because sometimes I would like to play around and some takes that are just, you know, like too funny or whatever. It's like, oh, Jim wouldn't be that funny. Where
for
like,
sure.
oh, you're right. But yeah, more you know, more projects.
More projects.
Anything? Is there anything you wanted to promote by any chance? Just curious.
I do have a movie coming out at the end.
Oh, okay.
Of the week, called Swan Song, which will be on Apple, and it stars Mahershala Ali, Glenn Close, and
awesome.
Wow.
That sounds like an incredible cast. That sounds like an amazing movie already, just based off the cast.
I was incredibly lucky and humbled to work on that one, and it was scary. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever had that, but like it was very intimidating.
Did you get to do scenes with those actors?
Yeah, I did. I was very, very lucky, and
That's
cool.
amazing. That's amazing.
Did you get to slap Glenn Close?
no.
No, he slaps Mahershala Ali.
Oh, right. Because you can't slap Glenn Close.
Glenn Close does the slapping. Thank you very much.
That's true. Did you get slapped?
Man, I would love to get slapped by Glenn Close.
Yo, you and me both. You and me.
Is that a weird thing to say on stream? I'm sorry, everyone.
It's like, one of the kids says like Glenn Close could step on my neck or whatever.
I say more harder.
Wow. For those of you just joining, don't clip the part where I said you slap Glenn Close.
Or do, now that you mentioned it.
But it was a reference to something earlier, so you know you have to pay attention. You have to watch the whole thing to not cancel me. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. All right, Swan Song. Well, yeah.
Check it out, people. Do you know what? Do you know what the date is when it comes out?
They just announced December 7th.
Oh yeah.
December 7th. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks,
Make sure to
thank you.
check it out, y'all. Make sure to check it out.
Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience?
Oh yeah,
by any
we
chance?
have. We've been. I know that there's. We've been accumulating. Chat's been rolling. And we've been getting. I know people have been. If you do have questions, chat. Make sure to tag the moderators and give them a. Let them know. A lot of the questions.
Well, you know, I have a question for you, Daisuke, and you've probably answered before in another stream, so I apologize.
Sure.
But when you finished the base game, what did you do to Shimura?
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah. So I thought I was going in. I thought I was going to kill him. You know, to give him what he wants. And then playing it, I changed my mind to say sparing him, because I had won the battle. So it's my choice. So it's kind of like saying "fuck you" with love.
And I'm not going to give you what you want.
Yeah.
Because it'd be too easy, Uncle.
And also
Death
like
is
going
too easy.
because I just finished my 4th playthrough because I'm a nerd. And by now I realized like it was partially his Uncle Shimura's fault because it was his teaching that you get to decide what is honor to you, and that is what I learned by the end. Is that what honor is to me? Is to
You define it for yourself.
I get to kill. I get to choose who I kill. This is terrible. What did you decide?
Yeah, I killed him.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you have a rationale, or did you just instinct felt like it?
I mean, like you said, it was kind of what he wanted, and I don't know. I'm like,
And there can only be one daddy, kind of thing.
There can only be one dad.
Highlander style. I think it's also like, I've seen too many movies where when you spare people, it comes back to bite you. So it's just like,
Oh yeah.
no, I'm just
Oh
gonna
yeah.
kill you. Then it's done.
I mean,
It's true.
I feel like if we imagine in a logical, progressive way about, if there was another story that was going to be told about these particular characters and this island that seems to be really popular with Mongols, one could suspect that in the future, when say the Mongols decide to return, maybe that this may end up biting someone in the ass. But that's for a future that who knows what's going on over there. But I think for me, like, you didn't ask, but for me, I just like leaving Shimura alive because it's like, okay, there's more to this story. There's more to this story to find out. It's not the end. But
I mean, I guess I feel like canonically you probably spare him because as you said, like, so much, we talked about this before stream, but like so much of Jin's journey in my mind is like him seeing all these other people consumed with death and revenge and like you see
that
like
cycle.
your character, and it's like I feel like he would probably spare him.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is one of the things that I do really just admire about the writing and the structure of the game and also Dice, your performance and the way that it is. I feel like it's this kind of lesson around generational trauma and how to break out of it, or how it can sort of control and dictate everything that we end up doing in potentially destructive ways that aren't really helpful for us as people trying to grow and be, which I think is this is good. You guys are great.
Yeah, it was. Now that I'm thinking about it, more nerdy Ghost of Tsushima stuff. So the recent playthrough was because of Iki Island, obviously, and I just wanted to like restart the whole thing and experience it for the first time. Yeah. I feel so. Before Iki Island, Nate, the director, told me like the spare kill percentage is about half. So nobody's like,
interesting.
one or the other. I wonder what the experience of Iki Island does, like narratively, and because I was fucking around, I just did the ending, redid the ending, and we did a party theme, and so I was having a party and I killed Lord Shimura, but narratively speaking, like after going through with Kazumasa and Tenzo and how I spare Tenzo, I feel like people would lean more towards sparing Shimura at the end. I don't know.
Because there's been so much sparing.
So much sparing, and it is like you said about the generational trauma. Jin is the type of character, because with Iki Island you don't really have a choice. So it's about overcoming that trauma.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's that's the thing where with Iki, you don't have a you get the sort of Jin makes his own choice in the end when he's dealing with his memories, but the fact is, like, Dad's dead, and sort of you can't change the actions of the past. You can just sort of change how you deal with it, you know, which I think is really interesting. And then with Shimura, it's like, oh, I get to now choose. And so I think that sometimes, I don't know, like I really do think that it may push you into that. Spare. You might as well spare.
We have a question from I am Leonard Wu. Why didn't you spare Ryuzo? I don't know if this is a question for me or I think it's this question for you, Lee. Why didn't you spare Ryuzo? Because Ryuzo is a bitch, so it's probably
because he just wanted that dang burger.
Sorry, I don't mean that. I love Ryuzo. I love Leonard.
Oh, speaking of which, also because Leonard's here, we're all signing stuff in October.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be doing kind of, this add a Leonard, but we'll also probably we might be in the same place doing the thing where we get to, because I know some people have been ordering things that we've all signed. So that's exciting as well.
That is very exciting.
But yeah, what is it? October 22nd? Is that the date?
Is that right?
Is that correct?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Somewhere.
We're so bad at this. I know. I feel like I'm like, we're doing
Romina
a thing
says
where we
23rd.
signed. Oh, is it 23rd? Oh shit.
That's what Romina said.
23rd.
Wait. I'll check.
October 23rd. Josephine knows. Thank you, Josephine.
Is it 23rd?
On the 23rd, which means
Have we decided? We have decided.
I think so. I think we told that. I think there's a date. But obviously we're dealing with time zones as well. So in some places it could be the 24th.
Good save, Earl.
In Australia it's a day after, right? Wink. I'm just in Australia time, streaming about sunny Brisbane.
Oh, Brisbane. The River City, baby. The River City.
Oh, the River City. It's true. What a town.
That's Brisbane.
Yeah, it's Brisbane. Good old bogan Brisbane.
Actually, kind of going back to that. How did you enjoy Vancouver? I've only visited for work and stuff.
Yeah, how long?
I loved it.
How long were you based in Vancouver? Because you're now in LA.
Yes. God, how long? Maybe like 5-6 years or something. Maybe longer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Vancouver is lovely 3 months of the year.
Really? Oh, I guess I was there when it was lovely. Oh, okay.
We always filmed over the summer, and it was that thing of because again I'm from Australia where it's the weather's more like
Right.
and people are like it rains a lot, and I'm like yeah okay whatever, and
A lot.
1 month of rain, this sucks. 2 months of rain, oh this isn't great. 3 months of rain, you start to be like I haven't seen the sun.
That's wild.
14 weeks, and it's kind of depressing.
That's so interesting. Like, also, I feel like Lee, we've had these like kind of inverse experiences of like going from Australia to somewhere very rainy and cold, and then me going from very cold and rainy going to Brisbane and being like, the sun is trying to kill me. It's
I
a
went.
lot to deal with.
This is TMI, but I was at the gym, or I was wearing one of those, no sleeve shirts, and I don't even know why I'm talking about this. You know the tan.
Oh, your farmer tan.
Yeah.
The farmer tan, and it's like I don't even go outside partially because of the pandemic. I usually stay inside. I usually do the workouts inside. How do I like what? I didn't even try to get this tan.
Is it
So I
because
was-
of your window?
I don't know.
Your right arm is exposed to the window.
No, both arms.
Oh, is it
Sorry.
both? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was.
That would be
just on
funny, like one arm tan.
Yeah, just one arm tan. But I was just thinking, I don't know why I'm telling this here and now, which Lee shortened in our chat, but the idea I have is to do an opposite shirt where it's just sleeves, and then you even out the tan. What I don't know what it would be called, the anti-farmer tan.
So it's like forearm cuff.
Forearm cuff.
This is completely empty, and then just a little like a tank top.
Yeah.
But just this section is exposed.
Well, I guess just on the body too. So it's
and
just
the body. Okay.
sleeves. It's just sleeves with the option of this, because this is also a tan. See that? It's like why? Anyway,
A tan evener.
Sorry, I should ask questions for the.
And then you need you'd have to have varying length, right? Because there's people who never wear tanks, so they would need the sleeves only go up to here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The people who wear tanks and they would need it
Yeah, they would want it that line.
Right. Yeah, I guess I should always be wearing a shirt.
Or just not be wearing any shirt.
Is Shark
Yeah.
Tank still going, and can we get you on it?
Shark Tank? Oh,
and if
right,
not
right.
Shark Tank, then maybe Project Runway. Because this sounds like a fashion revolution. That's what I'm saying.
You know what it would be? You know what it would be like? It would be like the Emperor's shirt, Emperor's new clothes type of situation, where I'm like,
This is great, you guys. Okay, Lord Sakai.
where I say like, check this new invention shirt out, and I'm just naked, and it's like, you will never have a weird farmer tan ever, because
Nudism.
with nudism. It's like you're not wearing anything. It's like, no, wait, but check this out. And I would have no weird tans.
Do you remember? Sorry, when that article came out of people getting the sunlight into their butt hole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was that about?
Wasn't it didn't Gwyneth do a thing?
Yeah, I feel like that's a. I feel like that's a. This sounds like a Gwyneth.
I feel like it was a goop thing.
Yeah.
Where it was you have to sun your gooch.
Yeah.
Excuse my nomenclature. Your perineum requires sunlight, is what they were saying. Because I don't know, tan lines. I don't know. I just remember being like, we've gone too far. Humanity must be stopped.
I also remember thinking
goop
poor
is too
model
much.
to book that job. Because it was all the photos of them
Oh
leaning
yeah,
back.
yeah, and then people burnt. People got burnt down there because they were they didn't.
Oh no!
Because it's also very sensitive because it doesn't get exposed to sunlight at all, if ever. So then when you blast it with UV, it's just gonna. People.
Anyway, sorry to take us down a weird.
You didn't take us down that. Dice
I
sort
did.
of threw us down there, and now we're just okay, we're down this path. What do we?
And I vaguely remember, was there, speaking of going down this weird path of nakedness, you had some posts where you were a sexy self.
Oh yeah,
was there, right?
Lee's got all sorts of sexy pics.
You got the sexy.
I mean, also look at his
thing.
look at the headshot that we used for his promo. That is smolder. There is some deep smolder in that.
How did it happen? Is it just is it how
can
Dice
get
lighting?
a hold of your photographer?
Yes, or a workout person.
It is a lot of lighting, totally lighting, not too much.
Oh come on! Oh really? No, come on.
Shut
and
up.
My girlfriend takes a lot of photos because I believe it or not, I hate it, but it feels like a requirement of the job now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you know Hollywood. It's if you're in a certain category, and for whatever reason I read for some of those roles, and so I read against Lewis Tan and Simu and that kind of thing.
Cool.
So it feels like I have to have that out in the world because they do.
Because people are going to be looking for it, or if you want to. if you want to be batting at that level, then it's a thing that that just sort of needs to be accessible to a certain extent. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Thank God we don't have to deal with that.
I dislike, body image is such an important thing, and I do hate continuing to perpetuate a system that says like your value is based on your physical attractiveness. Like, it's not ideal, but it is what it is.
No, I totally get that. I recently got new headshots, and maybe soon I will reveal it to the world. And I didn't get like hot, whatever. It's not about that. But it is true that I think a lot of photos these days, even headshots, like they kind of have to look like you're on a magazine or something. Not have to, but it helps, right? Because especially with social media, just posting them just makes you think like, oh, he must be in a movie, or he must be, like an A-lister, because he must be on a magazine or something. And it kind of works in my brain. It's like I see other actors like, oh, that photo is really hot, like he must be doing very well. And sometimes they're like, nope, they had a good photo shoot and they're still struggling just like everybody else.
The tricks behind the industry.
But I wish everybody well though,
Of course. I mean, I even saw a director the other day tweet that when she's casting, she Googles you, so then she's gonna look at all your photos. So I mean, it just again, it's annoying because Philip Seymour Hoffman is not posting or wasn't posting shirtless selfies, and I wish that it was more about the work. But anyway,
it's true.
Also, you are a very handsome man, Daisuke, so
Yeah, Dice.
Sure. I do wonder though sometimes, it's like if they Google me, is it like my silly cameo videos that I make or streaming where I'm like making stupid faces, and they'll look at that and be like, nope, or not. I don't know. Or they might look. I mean, hopefully I will work with people who will look at that and it's like, oh, I want to work with this guy because he seems fun, and he has some kind of strange range or something.
The people like him because he's weird, but also he do the acting.
He do the acting.
But he also then hits himself with a monkey puppet.
With a monkey puppet. This is the thing I do. Strange. I do have a question. This one's pretty interesting, and I can relate to it. Was it ever strange hearing your own voices in the game when you started playing it, or seeing yourself on TV? Did you get used to it at all? This is from Lady Dragon Strike. Thank you. I never get used to it. I don't like watching myself. Do you, Lee? How do you feel?
No, like
I love that we're all just like, no, no, we don't like it.
Hearing myself, seeing myself. Yeah.
That's for you.
All I see is the things I wish I didn't do.
Yeah, or the like, things that I didn't do that I should have done, where I'm like, oh god, fuck.
I shouldn't have played it like that. I should have played it like this.
Why am I doing that stupid thing with my voice? Like, why didn't someone say I looked like this when I was doing it? I could have changed. I mean, so. Yeah. Also, like, I feel like a lot of the chat has seen both Dice and I reacting to ourselves when we first played the game, where we're just like, oh god, that's me.
I mean, I try to hide it. I was like, yep.
No, I straight up am like, look at that asshole.
And of course, like the rest of us, like I don't look at like 99% of the time when I'm watching you guys, I'm not like, oh god, so many bad choices. Like sometimes you might be like, oh, that's from any actor, you know, like, oh, that's a weaker delivery compared to their normal standard, or like, oh, maybe they could have played that one line differently. But 99.9% of the time, I'm just like, holy fuck, Earl and Daisuke are just killing it, and this is phenomenal, you know. So.
Yeah, and that's and you know. It's great to have fans.
Thank you to Sucker Punch for cleaning up our messes.
Yeah, And it's great to hear fans because they, they seem to have liked it and like they're moved by it. And that's when I say, that's great.
That's what
And
it's for.
I'm like,
It's
yeah,
for
that's what
you. It's for you. It's for you, everyone else.
Thank
like
goodness.
us seeing ourselves. We go through a whole different set of feelings when we see ourselves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it gets any. We'll see if we ever get used to it. But it's still pretty weird. I feel like it's always going to be kind of weird, as well as just like I think I constantly have this weird moment of like, there's a digital version of us that sort of is going to exist. Like we'll turn gray and become old, decrepit, whatever. You know what I mean? But like there is this digital version of us that is now kind of, I don't know, it exists permanently as like a time capsule of who we were at that point, which I think is just a really fascinating thing. Like it kind of does my head in a little. Like I just sort of like spin out and going like, oh, what is existence? Like, what?
No, yeah, that's true. And also of TV and film as well. I was looking at, do you do Cameo at all, Lee?
I don't.
Yeah, which
It's
is
probably
fine.
for the
Totally, it's fine. Nothing against anybody's made requests
No,
for
we
me.
love
in chat.
Cameo.
Yes. But if you like look for other people on Cameo, I was just thinking about this because I was making some Cameo videos today. It's a trip because this is gonna sound weird, but it's like that Where Are They Now? You know that show? It's like that, but in real time, where it's like if you want to see that actor you really liked in the 90s or the 2000s, if you want, do you want to see them much older? They're on there and they have shitty lighting and they're just taking a selfie of themselves. Freddie Prinze Jr. is on there. It's like, oh, he still looks good, but he's much old. He's an older man.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so weird.
Everyone's dads now.
Everyone's dads
or granddads.
And even if they're not dads, they look dads. They're older. They're balding. They have wrinkles, and that's gonna happen to all of us. And if they're still okay with it, the people who make these requests, that's great. But maybe that's a part of it. It's like they want to like, oh, they're older, and I can relate with that. I don't know. But yeah, there is a part of pressure that comes with that of being an actor. And it's like, oh, I have to keep making new stuff so that I stay relevant, which is a irrational fear. But I don't know. I mean, existence, right? That's the rational fear of existing in this world, I guess.
Dang, we just went down a little deep vortex.
But it's partially because of the digital self, right?
Yeah.
Because that remains, and
that
people
remains,
are still
and that will
affected
be-
by it.
Yeah.
And
Also,
10 years, yeah.
I think more so the thing that is like that digital self of us is like manipulable. Like it's not just a static like image. It is, it's an asset that, has a fully rendered range of motion, like has a fully rendered, like way of breathe. Like there's I don't know, like I feel like something in the like detail of it being that sort of the mechanics have all been there is sort of like just gives it that like extra level of like, it seems like a android or cyber or something, that is, someone can program it to do the thing, to do a thing, but we exist as information in that way, as opposed to like, like film or TV, like there's something, it's captured a thing in a way that's, I think, a bit more static, like whereas a digital asset where it's like information, I don't know, it's all very strange, and I'm grateful for it.
Somewhere in a server, there's a fully realized model of you that someone could program to like do
and
whatever.
and it straight up, I'm sure exists in the Sucker Punch, their databases where it's like, take the Norio model and go see what happens when he, you shoot an exploding arrow at him and then he launches like a rocket ship.
Or do sex stuff. Probably do sex stuff. That's where everybody goes.
Yeah. Well, especially with your amazing buttocks on display.
It's true that those are some cakes, Dice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not mine. It's digital. So
Digital cakes.
it's not my cakes.
Digital cakes.
You can't eat those cakes. It's digital.
It's just empty calories, that cake.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, do we have another question? Do we have
No, no, not really.
No, okay.
We're good.
Yeah, I think this one's I feel like we've already asked this one.
Yeah, I feel like we did. Yeah.
Oh, also just quick question. When did y'all finish for Iki?
Oh, when was your last day? Guys?
I want to say something like February or something.
February.
I think. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Time.
Why do you ask?
No, I was just wondering, like, just the between y'all finishing and then the final cut, like the director's cut coming out, just if it, because that's like 6 months, right? February to August.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I remember our last, like, my last day before Ghost came out. It was like March before we came out in July. Right, just yeah. So I was just thinking about like that.
That seems fast.
Yeah, that was the thing where I was really surprised. It was like, I know we got delayed, but we're finishing up. We're finishing up pretty, like, all right, let's get it in. Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if it's voice, it's just it's just pickups, they just put it in there, right? So I feel like it's probably
it's pretty easy. Yeah,
that,
I'm sure
that part
it's
doesn't
super
take much time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Other than Ghost of Tsushima, what are some of Lee's favorite games?
You a gamer?
Are you a gamer?
I am a gamer.
Oh, you are.
I am a gamer. Man, I have so many.
Are you a Call of Duty shooter-manner?
No, because man, I'm too old and my Twitch reflex is too slow. So like 12-year-olds are like fucking headshotting me to death.
Oh yeah, it gets to a point where like you've been killed by a 10-year-old like too many times, where I'm like, I can't. I need to just.
So I was a huge Overwatch guy.
Oh.
Nice.
Was?
What was your main?
Well, I mean, a lot of Reinhardt.
Okay.
A lot of Doomfist.
Okay. Nice.
Zenyatta.
Theo. Oh, Theo.
Do you play?
I've played very poorly for a little bit, but I have a couple friends who are like hardcore Overwatchers, like who are like on leagues and do so I've watched a lot of, like, when Overwatch first came out, it was a lot of hanging out and drinking beers, watching my friends kill each other, and then occasionally being like, can I try? No. Like, oh, I'm dead, I'm sorry. Oh, team, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I simply don't do any online stuff except for Ghost Legends, really. I don't think. I mean, Fall Guys, but like that doesn't really count.
Are you so what would you say, other than first person shooter, would be your preferred sort of game style?
On it, like, dude, I'm a huge nerd.
Skyrim.
Skyrim was pretty good. I mean, like, I thought Fire Emblem Three Houses was amazing.
Oh, all right, Fire Emblems. All right.
But even like I played so much like Slay the Spire and Hades was great.
Hades is so good.
Dude, I played everything.
Nice. Is there a game that you're looking forward to that you haven't played yet?
I mean, like, yeah, the new Horizon, the new God of War, the new
Spider-Man. You're speaking our language.
You are. Oh my gosh. Oh, and what do you play on?
PlayStation.
4? 5?
I haven't got a 5 yet.
It's difficult.
It's impossible.
It's
man.
difficult. I was making when it first came out, I was making appeals to Sony on the regular, being like, you own all of me. I would just like an opportunity to buy the machine, please. Like, but we met. If you need help, I have like a couple of tricks and tips that can help you get it in the bag, as they say. I feel like there's a lot of people that there are a lot of people that have come out being like, yeah, I can get you, but like there's a couple of actual ways to do it that are safe and helpful. Well,
Like,
also because like it's
in the
that
back alley of
thing.
my house, and
Well,
like, you come out with a trench coat. And
I got PlayStation 5. I got PlayStation 5 new edition with the smaller screw. I got
We are close to wrapping up, but we have some more questions that are interesting. This is from Ancient Marmite. What was your favorite project that you worked on in the last 10 years? I mean, for me, it's probably Ghost, but what about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ghost is for me gonna be it, mainly just because like, yeah, I keep thinking about what Nate was saying, Dice, when he was like, you went to high school, like you did 4 years of this. Like this is basically like a tenure that is like going to school for this. Or like, you know, like we just because living with it for that many years, and like I was like 3 years right behind, you know, and so I feel like it's just it's significant in the fact that it's taken up so much time, like, and that we've been able to sort of have this extended relationship with it, which I think has been really lovely. And you know, with streaming and all of this and all this stuff, it's continued to keep growing and snowballing, which I think is really lovely. Like, Lee?
Yeah, outside of Ghost, do you have a favorite?
I mean, I always say Man in the High Castle, mainly because it was the first time I'd got to be on a show for any length of time, and you know, I got to work with Joel De La Fuente all the time, who is like, he's kind of like the big brother I never had. So like getting to meet him, you know, even outside of the career, was like one of the highlights of my life. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's so good. He's nice, such a nice man
I want to
too.
meet him.
Yeah, he's so nice, Earl. You'd love him. You'd love him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Mine in the High Castle for me was like a big TV show that I booked. That I got to do, you know, more than one episode. So yeah, that one was a big one for me as well. I have some gaming questions. I have no idea what these are about.
Fire Emblem. Which house did you pick?
I played through all of them.
Oh dang!
Yeah, dude, I sat like 300 hours in the game or whatever. But
Is that long?
Yeah,
That's a long thing.
Yeah, that's a commit.
Oh,
but I'm Team Edelgard. Edelgard for life, man.
Edelgard, good to know. Good to know. All right. Oh, we have a question. Have you played any of the Resident Evil games?
I have.
Do you have a favorite amongst the Resident Evil games? I'm a Resident Evil 2 for life kind of boy.
Yeah, I kind of think the same.
oh, wow! I haven't played those.
OG.
That one I haven't played too. Yeah, it's good.
It's the
pretty
best. I think.
Was there a remake? Did you
Yeah,
like
there's a remake. There's a remake.
Did you like that, or did you like the OG better? Oh,
Probably the OG. I don't know.
oh,
Really?
Really?
The OG I love, but the controls, the boat controls, just drive me so crazy. Like, because you are a boat. Like it's like, how do we make a human move like a boat? I don't know what Capcom did, but Resident Evil 2, that's like, oh, there's a zombie attacking me. I need to back up and then back up again, but then I'm bumping into I'm a boat. Like
That's
but it's also part of the fun of, I don't know, like I feel like it's part of the fun and like the janky camera angles of the original 2, where you're like, who thought that would be a good way to frame this picture? Jesus, thanks Capcom. All of the important information is invisible.
There's an interesting question, but I'm wondering if there's a better way to phrase it about. I'm guessing Lucarios is talking about the character he played in The Man in the High Castle. He was an interesting character, to say the least. Is there something you took away from your performance as him into other projects, or perhaps anything you really enjoyed in particular about his character?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. I mean, it was kind of, again, it was my first big job. Like the first time I'd been, like more than a single episode, and like I just think about how I got to work with a bunch of like veteran actors who were very talented and were very generous with their time, because not every actor is, and Joel and all the older actors on that show really took the time to kind of mentor me and look out for me as well. And so I learned a lot on that set that I would take on, just a lot of confidence and a lot of just craft stuff. So yeah, boring answer maybe, but
no, that's great. Okay, we have a question asking about if you play pinball. And how confident are you at playing pinball?
I haven't played pinball since I was a kid. And I remember sucking horribly.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Who's good at pinball? I don't
who
understand.
is good at pinball? Yeah. Are you good at pinball?
I'm not particularly. I mean, I'm okay. I'm not. Like, I have a buddy of mine is like a pinball player. Like, there's like a couple bars like in downtown LA, like they have competitions and stuff, like they go and do pinball. But like I'm not, but I enjoy watching. Like, I feel like it's like a weird, like it's like the sportiest sort of video game that require, I don't know, like there's something about it that, you're standing, you're actually
Dance Revolution.
Sorry, yes, of course, but that I feel like that's more about the dancing and the real, anyways, but yeah, pinball's really involved. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's my game.
No. I actually wanted to have a follow-up question to the Man in the High Castle thing. Is there anything, do you have any, like, I don't know, tricks or tips of the trade, especially like on-camera stuff? One thing I learned from the Man in the High Castle for me was carry right before a take where it was like really like energy, like right. It's the scene where after I get shot and so he needed to be like pumped up. He just breathed through his nose, like rapidly, right before action. So he would go, and then action, and then he would, do the scene. Do you have any like stories like that where it's like, oh, I can take that lesson, or
Nothing quite as succinct as that. That's a good one, though.
I know, because it was so
rapid
so
nose
simple.
Breathing, rapid fire breath through the nose.
Yeah, it's like I could probably use that. But yeah,
that's genius.
Or just from like over the years, have you learned like, oh, this is a good, lesson to be?
My main thing is like, because I've never been like a lead or a series reg or anything, I always feel like I'm a guest on the set. And, like I come from a place where like my parents, like when you go to someone's house, you're a guest, like you don't ask for things. Like you don't be like, oh, can I have a water? Like if they, they'll offer and you kind of like, like you just be
a gracious house guest.
Great, And so I think I take a lot of that to set where I don't like to make a lot of noise. It's like almost like if you don't know I'm here, I've done a good job. I've just showed up. I've acted as best I can between takes, and then no one's ever had to talk to me. No one ever has to do anything for me.
Yeah.
I just, But I guess I learned from Joel was a lot of the times, sometimes that was affecting the acting. Like there was this one take on High Castle where the door would get stuck, and I couldn't really open the door, but I'm supposed to like throw it open and storm in. And Joel's like, no, you're not being a diva if you're asking for things if they're directly affecting your acting. So like, if this door is sticking, you should say to someone, this door is sticking, and they'll fix it for you. And I'm like, right. That is different from being like, where's my Diet Coke? I can't fucking act like you. Bring me a Diet Coke. Like,
yeah.
So,
Well, I think,
So that was
I think that's definitely a thing where I feel like, yeah, sometimes on set, you're just like, you have that like journeyman workhorse like mentality where it's like, I come in, I do the job. Like you brought me, you gave me this gig because you know I can do it. And I come in, I do the work and I'm out. No, you know, and yeah, I think that sometimes it does sort of get in our way because, you know, we're also nice. We're nice boys. We're, you know, like we're nice boys that had nice parents that were like, oh, you know, like be good and, you know, don't be too much and don't cause too much of a scene, or, you know, and so we sort of take that to heart in a way that, like, I think oftentimes it can be that we shrink ourselves in a way, and sometimes, you know, where it does have a literal you know, ramification where it's like, nope, I gotta not shrink because I can't open this door and I can't do my job.
Yeah, and I feel like because I'm coming from like stage, and when you're doing rehearsals and stuff, you get to act, you get to play around in the set, on the set. You get to make it your home. On TV, a lot of times they're like, you know, you get to rehearse, but then they're like, okay, we got to get the team in, and they're gonna figure out the thing.
Yeah.
So the main guy actors have to get out. I almost want to, and they bring in a replacement just to like
Stand-ins.
for the camera, stand-ins for the cameras.
Yep.
I always wish that I could just
Can I
sometimes
just be my own stand-in? Like, if you need
Yeah,
me
can
here,
it-
like I've
yeah.
I've done that. Like, we're just
Okay, yeah.
Like my first because my first network show was an episode of Two Broke Girls, but I had never been on a multicam set before, and I was just so fascinated. And luckily, the director and they were all really cool. But I was just like, can I just? I know you need that set, but I'm totally cool to just be the stand-in. Because
Yeah.
I just, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, we still pay him the same. Like, you don't have to come in. Like, but I was just like, oh wow, this is so great. Oh,
Also,
this is so
like,
cool.
Like when your set is supposed to be your home or your workplace, where
yeah.
you know the place very well, and they're like, oh no, just just rehearse a little bit and then go out. It's like, no, I want to make it.
I want to sit down. I need to like
home.
touch the, like I just need to get some bearings, and it does oftentimes feel like, especially if you're just going in for an episode or something where it's like, I am a guest here. Like this set lives here. Like I am coming into this set's space. So it's just like, okay, I'll just tip around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a fascinating push-pull like dichotomy of like, I don't want to be too much, but I just want to get used to everything and get my hands on all the things.
Yeah. You want to do a quick round of the questions, the last three questions?
Yeah, we got okay,
We're
we
running
got
out of time.
Oh
so,
yeah, dang, we've already got an hour.
One word. If Kazumasa was your father, how would you interact with him? I don't know if you can answer that in one word.
One word.
From
Oh
Toussaint
man.
Necklace.
Look, I think
Fuck you,
everyone of
Dad.
our generations like probably has some kind of daddy issues. So
Yeah.
For real.
yeah, I love my dad, but he's also very like, was when I was little. He's changed now. Was a cold, standoffish man.
Yeah.
So I would probably be very much like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just not talk. Yeah. Favorite NBA team?
Probably Lakers. I'm not huge into NBA, but probably Lakers.
Oh, okay. Any other
AFL?
Bulls. I think the Bulls, but
Bulls? Yeah.
Footy? Do you
Footy?
watch footy? No.
yeah, Newcastle Knights.
Oh, all right. Right.
We can. Oh, that was for Liana 5347. Thank you. We should let's make this the last question. What's the most important thing that aspiring actors should be aware of before they go into the acting business? We love that question.
Advice for aspiring actors.
Yeah, coming from a lawyer background, like jumping in.
I know now, like that's the thing that I feel so jealous of. Like now your parents have nothing to be like, oh, you could still go, like, or I mean, maybe they do.
No, they do, dude. I had just booked the Terror, like a big recurring guest arc on the Terror, and then it was
Yeah.
Christmas before we shot it, and Mom's like, so when are you coming home to be a lawyer?
Mom, no.
It's like,
Not even as a joke.
Even
That
when
was
you,
not a.
not even like
even
as a
after
joke.
you've been the lawyer, so I get that. I get lawyer comparison because my brother's a lawyer, and they're like, you could always just join your brother. Like, what about that? Why not that? It's just like, please stop.
Look, I mean, this isn't like back to the question, it's like a craft question. Like, craft is so important. Do everything you can to like work on your craft and grow as a person. But I just think, the only thing you can control is like yourself and your integrity. So just always conduct yourself with kindness and integrity, and then no matter what happens, you'll feel good about it. Because this business is so up and down, and sometimes you'll see people get ahead who maybe aren't the nicest people, who don't conduct themselves with integrity, but inevitably, I think, it comes around. Whereas
Twitter has those receipts.
yeah, and if you compromise who you are, it'll probably eat you up on the inside. So, and so sometimes, you get roles where you're like, I don't want to do this. And then you have to sit down and be like, I know this is against whatever. Am I going to be able to live with it? Or, just be kind and conduct yourself with integrity. And that will be the even keel that will take you through one of the most up and down careers that exists. I think.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thanks. That's integrity. How about it?
Yeah. The great Shia LaBeouf said. Actually, he was quoting somebody else, so it's not him. But he said that the acting career is like a wave. So it's like, it comes. Maybe it wasn't Shia LaBeouf. I'm thinking of somebody else. But it's like the wave. So it's like
So
sometimes.
John Gielgud.
It was,
Just do it. Do it.
it was probably not Shia
do
LaBeouf
it.
now. Just do it.
It was
Do
Laurence
it.
Olivier.
Oh, I'm
my
so bad
gosh.
with names. I embarrass myself. But it's like a wave, it's up and down.
It's true. It is definitely a wave. Well,
Oh wait, it was Neil Patrick Harris.
it was Neil Patrick Neil Patrick Harrison's Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. It's the same to me.
Doogie Howser or Just Do It guy.
I should have just quoted Shia LaBeouf saying,
Just keep-
"Just do it, do it."
I mean,
What are
that's
you
actually
waiting
not-
for?
Just do it. That's not bad advice either.
Anyway,
Anyways,
On that note.
on that note, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on
so
and
much,
hanging
Lee.
out with us.
Oh,
Lee.
this is great. Thank you so much for having me.
I feel like we should probably, now that we've done an internet hangout, maybe we should hang out for real sometime.
Yeah.
oh, sometime, yeah.
I'd love that.
Maybe if at the latest October 23rd, when we'll be autographing things.
Well, if if space permits, I heard this, we might be able to fit everyone.
Yeah. Also, and we just need to. I don't know. I'm also feeling particular because I recently, about a month ago, had COVID, and it wrecked me, and now I'm like finally I'm out, and I feel like, but I'm like, okay, I've conquered COVID, and now my social life will return.
And so we saw Shang-Chi, Earl and I, and then he was tested positive for COVID.
I
So
got
I
super
was a bit,
nervous.
yeah, I got super nervous too. So since then I've been taking a weekly COVID test.
And then we also figured out that it was my partner's work had a breakthrough,
Yeah.
and that's sort of how we figured out all of that. But when I
it's-
first started having symptoms, I was like, oh god, please don't, please. I hope this didn't happen to Shang-Chi.
But that's just the reality of the situation. It's like we don't know, and we can't really blame each other for that. It's like that's
because we were all vaxxed. They asked, everyone had to show proof of vaccination, and we all had masks on and all that stuff. But
all this to say, if we were to get together, I'll be tested, and hopefully somebody will be tested.
yes, if we
we'll be
if
careful.
we do ever end up having a shindig.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd love that. It'd be great to catch you up. So.
Yeah. And anytime you want to play Legends with us,
Yes. Anytime.
it.
We gotta. We'll exchange
that.
informations.
Stuff,
And
yep.
Yeah. And for the chat, we'll be streaming. I'll be streaming Wednesday, Friday. I'll be playing Judgment with Greg Chun.
Oh,
so we're gonna have Greg Chun on our show
Oh
eventually.
yeah, Greg's gonna be
confirmed.
on. I believe in a couple weeks as well. We'll be interviewing.
weeks.
Yeah, we'll be interviewing Greg as well.
Yay.
So that's exciting. We're hopefully gonna get through more and more Icky Island fam. So that would
One big
be-
family.
Yeah, it's
eventually.
eventually one big family, and then eventually, I don't know. We have all these dreams of like we're gonna go up to Seattle together, like we're gonna go see all the sucker punchers. We're moving into Billy's house. And then we have the ambassadors of Tsushima have to take us on an actual tour of the
Tsushima.
island someday in the future.
Lee, have you ever worked with any of the other cast members of Ghost? Just curious if you've ever run into
yeah.
them.
No, I don't think so, actually.
Oh, okay.
I was familiar with a lot of them. Like they're just there.
Yeah, I mean everyone knows, like it's like Patrick Gallagher and Lauren
Francois
Tom
Chow.
and Francois Chow. Like you're just like, oh, Shredder,
I'm here.
Amy Wong. Oh yeah, the guy, Mr. What is it? Tanaka? Is that his name from Glee? I can't remember.
Oh,
the gym coach.
Yeah, gym coach. Yeah. Eventually, we'll all meet and celebrate again. We just keep.
Hey, we need it.
I know. I also feel like again we got robbed of an actual like rap party / like because of COVID and all the things where it was just like, oh, I guess we don't get to hang out. But
not to like get anybody excited, but I recently talked to a possible agent about like how there was a Red Dead Redemption 2 what do you call it, where you get everybody back?
Reunion.
Yeah, it's like he made that happen. So he's like, there's something about Ghost of Tsushima reunion. So it's not even
That
a
would be
reunion because we never had a.
Yeah, there would be a first union. Like, what would you call it? A meeting.
Yeah, I don't want to get anybody.
A great gathering.
I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but
I know,
hopefully
that would be really
that'll eventually
wild.
happen.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
on.
so much for
Lee.
coming, everybody.
This has been wonderful. Thanks, chat, for hanging out. Thank you for all your questions.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We'll be back again next week. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Have a dandy rest of your days, afternoons, Saturdays, time zones, Have a good time zone, y'all. All right. Bye, everyone.